G'day guys, how are we doing? Welcome to Lucy's channel, Lucy Lane, the Queen of Balmain. Today, we're actually going for our second walk and we have to go pick up Mum and do some jobs. So I'm going to take Lucy with us. I'm going to blow her mind by taking her out, and also I'm going to answer some of your questions. All right, let's go, Lucy. You go, Wookies? Let's go, let's go, let's go this way. Come on, come on.
Guys, as you can tell, we actually had some issues with the wind here, so we actually put the questions all at the end of this video, so make sure you hang out till then.
Doggo Vloggo Life. Here we are to pick up Mum. Luce, Luce, this Mummy.
It's Mummy's work. You can't come any further.
Not allowed to come any further than this. Hey, Mum.
What are you doing at Mummy's work?
Hey, you're on Lucy's vlog. How you doing?
Hi. Thanks for coming to pick me up. I didn't expect both of you.
Hi, Mum. We're both here.
Hi.
How's your day? Shh, shh, shh. Lucy.
Wake up the other doggies in the building.
Before anyone freaks out, dogs are allowed in this commercial facility.
Yes, it's a dog-friendly building, but we obviously won't let her any further near the medical goodies, but you can stand in the hallway here, Bubs. Do you want some Botox?
Do you want to have some Botox? Do you want some Botox?
Oh.
guys, we just got back in. Lucy's looking depressed because she had to wait for her dinner. She had to settle her tummy. We picked up Mum from work straight. Look how she's leaning on.
I'm here. You can't see me everywhere.
Do you want some dinner? Yeah. So Lucy has her like 3-course meal every night. We've been through this. But we just got back from Thai, so that was awesome.
We had date night.
We had date night. We left Lucy at home. So look how
She's
sad she looks. Anyway, she's cranky as. But what we're gonna do, I got a really good email from a lovely lady called Maria just recently, and actually she had 2 emails, and I accidentally overlooked them. But she's got some really good questions on here that we wanted to talk about and hopefully answer. So I've actually had these questions a lot recently, and they all come through on all the different medias. So sometimes I do miss them. So now's a good time to sit down and talk about these things. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So the first question is, for you, Zach, what do we need to look out for when visiting a breeder?
Alrighty, look, I'm no expert, but what I would do first if I was going to get another dog, I would first do all my research online, so all of the social medias. I'd be checking out like their accounts. I'd be going onto Google reviews. You can actually do a lot from your living room. And then if I had some friends in the niche or anything in the industry, I would then ask them for their opinions on, have you heard of this breeder, things like that. Even on my own personal Instagram, I'll put up like a story or something and a poll. You'd be surprised who has seen your stuff. But then physically going to a breeder, when you're in the market for a German Shepherd, what I'll do, go online, look at all your breeders, contact them, and go personally visit them if you can. Obviously, this is excluding if you're going to get a Finnish dog or something over from Europe, or maybe like a working dog from the US or something like that. But for a good family German Shepherd or a working line within your region, you want to go visit as many places as you can, and you're going to get like a good vibe as soon as you walk in there. So go into the establishment. Say for Lucy, for instance, we knew Lucy was the one when we saw her because she was out of her cage, running around being a spastic. But what we did, we were the guy that bred Lucy. He actually brought out all of her dad, her mother, and her grandfather. So we got a really good visual representation of what the dogs are like, how they're built, how they're structurally sound, their temperament, and this is like really important, because like you could be inspecting a dog and it could be super shy, it could be super aggressive, people aggressive, it could have like be really jittery. Like these are traits that will carry on, like obviously through the parents to the pups. But say for instance with Lucy's dad, so if we first met Lucy's dad, the most amazing, this guy looked like Simba out of The Lion King. He was a massive boy, lean, fit, super active, West German show line. And then we met her mum, bit of a spitting image of Lucy. Can you look a bit happier? She's right. And then the most amazing thing that really cemented Lucy for us was when we met Lucy's grandfather. He was he 15?
Oh,
something like that. He was 15 years old, and he was just mechanically sound. He looks, I don't know, like an 8-year-old dog.
Yeah.
Like he didn't look that old. He was fit. He had no hip dysplasia, no problems. And great temperament. He was actually still the boss out of all the German Shepherds, and it was really good to see. I actually took him for like a jog around the paddock, and he was just a beautiful, confident male. Just he was the alpha, the big man. And then also, so that to me right there is longevity out of a dog. And I was like, you know what, if Lucy is like this when she's 14, 15 years old, like that is old. That is old for a German Shepherd. Average age is like 9 to 13. He's going on 15 and he looks like he's 8. And then the next thing you want to do is inspect the pups. So with Lucy, what was Lucy like when we found her?
She got out of the little playpen where it was like the little waiting one for us, and she's just galloping around the paddocks where we pulled up in the car, comes running up to us, let us play with her. She was so happy, no problems at all.
So she was super confident. And
Yeah.
if Lucy was quite fearful and she was like kind of backing down, like to me that would be a warning sign. Like
Yeah.
that she might have some behavioural issues, some anxiety when she's older. You're right.
I don't know what that
So,
position is.
yeah, definitely watch the pup. Make sure they're confident. Confident doesn't mean aggressive. Confident just means comfortable in their own skin. They're not afraid, you know. Alrighty, next question. This one's from Felicity. Did your gorgeous wife, Flick, also train Lucy, or was it mainly you? And if so, did Lucy listen to your wife's commands while training? That is a freaking awesome question. Felicity.
Well,
take the
firstly,
floor.
thank you. Yeah, definitely. I was actually quite surprised. I expected that Lucy would only listen to Zach and only train with Zach, but she listened to me from the get-go, and Zach was really good. I sort of held back a little bit, but he really pushed me and said how important it was that she listens to both of us and that we can both have those commands. And so yes, I did do that from the get-go, and it's made life really, really easy now. I can get her to do most things. Obviously, you know, doing the whole hip, heel, middle things, speed down. That routine's a little bit pathetic compared to the one that those two do. Definitely not as sharp.
But they can still do it.
We can do it. And say when I'm at the park and Zach's not there, I can always get her to come to the heel, always getting her to listen to me in the house, whether he's here, whether he's not. So it's been awesome, and I'm so glad that it is that way.
Awesome. And there's actually one more question. There's a third part to this massive question. And they were essentially wondering, could more than one person train the dog, or would that confuse who's alpha and who's not? Like, so that pretty much in the structure like that, more than one person can train the dog. So in the household, Lucy's at the bottom of the pecking order. Can you?
She's growling.
She's growling.
Can you guys hear that?
So Lucy's at the bottom of the pecking order.
Yeah.
And so Lucy sees the pecking order as me. I'm the alpha male. Then it's Felicity. Then it's her.
Yeah.
But the real structure is Flick's the alpha in my eyes. Lucy doesn't know that. I'm in the middle, and Lucy's at the end. But no, she doesn't have any confusion. Like it's confusing if everyone doesn't get involved with the training, because then like the shepherd will be kind of trying to find where they stick and where they belong in the pack, and you don't want one of these guys unsure of where they are, because then they're going to test you.
And particularly say you're not here, and if she doesn't know not to, like, she doesn't listen to me, like if we hadn't done that, then that would be really confusing.
100%. So again, I think everyone should get into the training in the family. The dog needs to know that they're at the bottom of the pecking order, and you don't want them like unsure of where they belong, because then you've failed your job. And at the end of the day, Luce, come here. You don't want these bad boys. Let's get your little teeth out. You don't want to be on the receiving end of these.
And I think from my perspective, I just had to really get in line with making sure that the commands were consistent, and I had to work on my like deeper voice as well, and be like firmer with it. But I think definitely just having that consistency, that we say the same words in the same tone for the same thing.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, all right, guys. Next question is, the dogs I have come across seem to have a sloping back, or could this be the way they make them stand in the photos?
Yeah, look, so there's always going to be, with show lines, there'll be a little bit of angulation. West German show lines are pretty straight to a small amount of angulation in the back. Your American show lines, they're going to have crazy angulated backs like this. And your working line German Shepherds, they can sometimes look like they have a sloping back when they get them to stack. And that stacking stance is, it's an aesthetic thing. They make them stand so their backs look like they're going on a curve. So you'd be able to tell like a show line German Shepherd straight away, like even an American show line German Shepherd, their back's like this. It's crazy. It's really bad breeding. But in most photos, they just get them to stack like your working lines and that. They have straight backs, but it's all to do with the way they stand. It's like, you know, when you take a photo that you look really good in sometimes, and it's the angles you're working, like, yeah, so.
What is your opinion on the working line GSD compared to Lucy West German show line? Would they have the same temperament?
Great question. So Lucy's a West German show line, as you said. West German show lines are a good mix of like a family German Shepherd, like a show dog, but they also carry over a lot of the characteristics of the traditional German Shepherd, the German working dog. So look, I think on the spectrum, Lucy specifically, her line has a lot of juice in the tank. She's not a working dog, but she's got a very high drive, and I think she's probably got a higher drive for a show line as well. She can go all day and be sharp as a tack all day, and she wants to work. So like in her family line, that they do IPO and stuff like that, and all that good stuff, which is like a bit of that bite work and tracking and like ability. I was going to say obedience and agility.
Alright,
and stuff like that. Ability. We're going to call ability. There we go. But Lucy doesn't have as much juice as your full on like Czech line or West working line or East working line German Shepherd. Like, she wouldn't have as much juice in the tank as those guys. Those guys are a completely different breed again. But for like a Lucy's line, she's definitely got some juice in the tank. There's no doubt about that. And I'd say it'd be recommended for like a really active and outgoing family. If you're a shy, introverted kind of family, like, and quiet and don't do much, like, just don't get one. Just do yourself a favour and do not get one. Yeah, so hopefully that answers that. So, and hey, this line right here is the most popular line in Germany, so got to be doing something right.
Alright, next question is, was crate training and toilet training easy?
Yes and yes, but you know what's even easier than me answering is if you watch the video. It's going to pop up on the screen just here. Crate training, it's not on how you crate train, it's just the benefits of crate training, and it's got some toilet training in there. But crate training in general is super beneficial for everything. Travel, vets, you name it. Toilet training. Watch the video there. Alright, next one.
Next question, is Lucy always an inside dog?
Pretty much, this is Lucy's life right here. So Lucy's two types of dog. She is your inside lap fluffy. This is Lucy right here. This is Lucy in the house.
She's a caboodle.
Yep, so Lucy doesn't live in the backyard like, I don't know, your normal dog. To me, a German Shepherd does not live in the backyard and doesn't stay there. When we're home, she's in the house. Actually, she's in the house anyway. So she lives in the house when we're not home. She's in the house when we are home. She has her places she can hang out, which is pretty much everywhere. But on the flip side, when we're outside of the house, it is action-packed, non-stop. Paws to the wall.
Just
go.
Just
no limits.
Yeah.
There is this or 330 miles an hour.
Yeah.
There's no in between. So yeah,
There's
like
actually not.
there is no in between. There is no in between. But that's us. That's us. You know, we're outgoing people, so it suits us. We love our inside time. But once we close that door and we all head out as a family, it's go. So yeah.
Next question is, how long and how often did we do puppy training?
Okay, so with puppy training, there's multiple different ways you can do this. You can get your puppy and go to like a puppy school. There'll be like a local puppy school or something you can go to. It's like 4 weeks or something. I think you learn like some basics. What we did, we actually missed all the puppy schools.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting a police dog trainer at some chick. And she was actually running a puppy school at the time, but she was all booked out. So we paid for her to come around. Don't be afraid to invest money into your dog, especially if she's going to hang around for 15 years. Like you might as well make it comfortable.
We learned so much.
We learned a lot.
More a sit down, and then we did some training at the end. Well, we saw her a couple of times, but I actually learned so much.
A lot. So that was really beneficial. That really set the foundation. And then a few months later on, when we kind of mastered all the basics, I then went and saw Master of Puppies. Always give him a plug. I love them. Will from Master of Puppies. He got me up to like an advanced obedience level stage with Lucy. Now that was awesome because both of these trainers both come from a background where they train high caliber dogs. You know, because Leanne was a police dog trainer, and Will from Master of Puppies, ex-military special forces trainer. So that's crazy. Like you cannot get a skill set like that anywhere. So it was really good to work with him and kind of like just watch what he does and listen to him, and everything that I learned from both of them actually, especially Will, I use to this day.
Yeah.
Everything from even to all those pretty photos on Instagram, all relates back to training that we did. And
that's the thing, it never stops.
It never stops.
And a lot of people say to us, "Oh, how long did it take you to teach her that?"
Yeah.
But it's like it never
stops. So I have a rule of thumb. I do half an hour of just training with Lucy every day. And if that's getting her to sit, stay, or just hip heel, or just walking at the heel perfectly at the park, controlling impulse control with like birds and stuff. Like whatever it is, or it could be just walking off lead around our neighborhood or something. Every day there is some form of training to be done because I want her sharp. So it never stops, never stops. You start from day one, and I'll still be doing training with her even when she's an old lady, 15, cranky as hell.
She'll be so cranky.
She'll be so cranky, but we're still going to be doing it. And obviously, because she's old, then we'll have to adjust a few things. But at the end of the day, guys, these guys were bred to work. You know what I mean? She's not a working line dog. But the original German Shepherd, which she has the genes of that, you know, they were bred for herding, and then they got implemented into military, police, all sorts of different emergency services. Like, you got to look at the foundation of this dog. It is a working, fighting, fearless man's best friend. Like, that's what they are, and you need to respect that and give them that respect. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for the questions, Maria. Awesome questions. Thank you for asking those. And Felicity just loved to jump on and get in there,
Aww.
get some camera time. Because sometimes Lucy hogs the camera time.
I like to be involved every now and then. Thanks for inviting me.
That's all right. That's all right. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, got some value out of it, please drop a comment below. Hit the like, subscribe if you're not. Also, make sure you go through our other videos, especially the crate training one if you have not seen that. And hang out for our next video coming up after this, as we're going to be taking Lucy for a cruise around Sydney Harbour on the ferry system. Turns out dogs are allowed under the discretion of the captain, so hopefully he likes German Shepherds, because we're going to go.
We'll see. Otherwise, there'll be a great video of us at the ferry stop.
At the ferry terminal, just waiting. Anyway, guys, until the next time, see ya.
Bye.